Is one thing you will never do again. I will never forget that hot summer day. It was one of those days where you can just feel the sweat cling to your skin as soon as you step outside. I was hanging out with my girl, enjoying the sunshine and having a good time. We had been dating for a few months, and things were going great. That is until her dad decided to show up. He was one of those guys that you could just tell didn't like you from the second he laid eyes on you. I tried to make conversation with him, but he just shot me down at every turn. I could feel my temper starting to rise, but I kept it in check. That is until he said something that pushed me over the edge. He made a comment about my job, saying how I would never amount to anything in life. I couldn't take it anymore. I fired back with some insults of my own, telling him exactly what I thought of him. That was a mistake. He got right up in my face, his breath hot and heavy. I could see the rage in his eyes, and I knew I was in trouble. He started to swing at me, and I barely managed to duck out of the way. That's when things started to get really out of hand. He started to chase me, and I could hear his heavy footsteps and angry shouting behind me. I ran as fast as I could, but it seemed like he was gaining on me. I was desperate and scared, and I knew I had to do something. I ducked into an alleyway, hoping to lose him in the shadows. I heard him pass by, and I let out a sigh of relief. I was safe, but I wasn't out of the woods yet. I could still hear him shouting, and I knew he was still looking for me. I had to find a way to get away. I spotted a fire escape ladder on the side of the building and scrambled up it as fast as I could. I made it to the roof, but I could still hear him shouting my name. I had to keep going. I ran across the roof, jumping from one building to the next. I could feel my heart pounding in my chest as I made my way across the rooftops. Finally, I made it to the edge of the city. I was exhausted and scared, but I was safe. I vowed to never cross that man again. I ended up with a nasty cut on my arm and a bruised ego, but it was worth it to get away. Looking back on it now, I realize that I should have just walked away. Sometimes it's better to just let things go than to try and prove a point. But in the moment, I was too angry to think straight. So, if there's one thing I will never do again, it's talk back to my ex-girlfriend's father. And if you ever find yourself in a similar situation, just remember, sometimes it's better to walk away than to fight.